Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Wednesday, March the 22nd, 2023. Wednesday, March the 22nd, 2023. Well, this is not important, but I always have a problem remembering the name of that random coffee. It's not a coffee shop, the random little restaurant people meet at sometimes. Port Charles Grill. Alexis and Diane was supposed to meet there for dinner, and Alexis forgot. So we have Diane coming over to find out, what happened to Alexis, or come to pick her up for dinner. She goes, "Oh, I forgot." And she was working swamped because, Gregory helped her out more than she thought, and, more than she realized, and she depended on him, and blah, blah, blah. And so Alexis tells Diane, how she misses, Gregory, and something's going on with him. I think, he's been drinking. And Diane's like, "What makes you think that?" Well, he was slurring his words, and he was, using the wall to hold himself up. And Diane says, "Well, maybe he was overserved, Alexis. Sometimes that happens." And so Alexis says, "Well, the bartender said he didn't serve him anything." So Diane looks like, "Okay, then he wasn't drunk." "Well, he could have came that way." She goes, "Oh my goodness." She said, "Alexis, there could be 1,000 reasons why Gregory was the way he was. And you've jumped to this one conclusion. One, right?" And so she goes, "Well, yeah," she confronted him with it. And of course, he doesn't want to speak to her. He's upset with her. He wants her to stay out of his life, but he's my friend. And if a friend is in trouble, you don't leave him alone. And Diana's like, "Yeah, but he's asked you to stay out of his life, to just stay out of his business. Alexis, you should respect it." So she goes, "If I were going to get hit by a car, wouldn't you do everything you could to intervene?" And Diane looked at her. So for one thing, those two are remotely different. I'm surprised Diane didn't say, "Wait, and you used to be my rival in the courtroom." Honey, no. you know, that train of thought isn't working. And so Diane says, "Well, Alexis, you don't listen to me because I've told you a while ago, don't butt into Gregory's business." And you, like I haven't said anything to you. So she goes, "Yeah, well, you know what? I miss my friend. And, since he won't listen to me, I'm going to reach out to, maybe he'll listen to somebody he might listen to." And Diane says, "Oh, didn't he tell you to stay out of his, and now you're going to call people? And what are you going to tell them, Alexis? You don't even know if the man was drinking. You don't even know anything." So for you she goes, "You know what? You won't listen, and I just can't. We'll reschedule dinner another time." you know. So she leaves, and then we have to deal with the whole rigmarole about the committee meeting, regarding Elizabeth, and the people that spoke up on her behalf. And "Oh, the people supporting me, I thought a lot of people would have turned their backs on me, and they didn't." And I'm thinking, well, they should have given you a harder way to go than they did, Elizabeth, because you feel like you back to Saint Elizabethhood, right? And so just meaningless stuff, with people that testified on her behalf, and blah blah blah. So Gregory is coming in to try to make an appointment with his doctor. And she goes, "You already have an appointment. It's for a month from now." He goes, "Yeah, but I need to get in sooner because my symptoms, they're getting worse, and they're changing, and blah blah blah." And then Finn comes up. "Dad, what are you doing here?" And he looks up and he goes, "Oh, I came to see how Elizabeth was doing." No, I think Finn even said, "Did you come to see how Elizabeth was, to support Elizabeth?" "Well, yes, I did." And I was like, you know what? When you want to make an appointment with your doctor, I don't know about you all in daily recap land, but when I want to make an appointment, I pick up the phone And I call and I make an appointment, right? Because that desk girl could have been on the phone making an appointment and nobody would have known who she was on the phone with unless she was going to blast out his name out loud. Oh, Gregory Chase? Okay, Dr. So-and-so can see you in next week, Gregory Chase. So I'm thinking, okay, his son is on staff there. Okay, General Hospital. If he wanted it a secret, like I said, why isn't he at Mercy? Why isn't he seeing a doctor at Mercy? So now we have boring Chase one in Brooklyn. Why don't we just give it another chance? And Brooklyn's like, no, I didn't do right. Don't forgive me. I don't deserve it. I was selfish. No, Chase, no. You deserve to have what you wanted, and I tried to keep it from you because I just had a better idea for you. So finally, the chick tells him about the contract she signed with Link. And if Blaze or any of the other girls want to come forward, Brooklyn can't. She signed an NDA. And Chase is like, wait a minute, you what? I did all of this, not for you just to get your songs back, but to get justice. You know, he is a predator. And you did what? Yeah, but I did it for you because I knew you wanted to go back, to being a detective. And he goes, no. You didn't do that for me. Signing what you signed, you didn't do that for me. You didn't even mention it to me, nor did you talk to me about it. And he goes, and why didn't you talk to me about it, Brooklyn? Matter of fact, you lied to me. You told me you got your songs back because all you had to do was write a couple jingles, 12 jingles for Link. And that's not what happened at all. And he just said, I can't. He was just too through, finally. Because you know what? Bottom line, it was horrible writing. He and Brooklyn weren't together. And I read in comment corners earlier, somebody said after one talk with Willow, now he wants to go and want to get back with Brooklyn. That wouldn't have happened like that. So now he's back out again. Come on now. When are they gonna put him and Sasha back together again? They belong together. Chase and Sasha belong together, not Sasha and freaking Cody. No. Chase and Sasha. It's like they put GH has been putting the worst people together, except for am bored with Dex and Jocelyn, but they're at least they're okay together, right? And Trina and Spencer, I like them together. Oh, but I do like Anna and Valentine together. I guess I do like Laura and Kevin. So, but they didn't just put those people together. Those people been together, right? But anyway, so good. I hope I don't have to see Chase and Brooklyn sharing a scene together for a long time, right? So we have Trina bumping into Curtis out to Kelly's. He was coming out, she was coming in, and they sit down and talk because she's like, I don't know how to act around you anymore. And then they were talking about Portia. Now they're just not ready, to forgive her for the lies. It's hurt too deep, right? So, but they weren't bad mouthing Portia to each other like she's a horrible person. Curtis is just saying, she lied to me in my face, point blank. And one of the things that she knew was important to me that is based on honesty. Our whole relationship, that's what was supposed to be so different, is there were no secrets between me and Portia. And boy, was the biggest secret of all was between me. So anyway, Portia shows up there And she goes to walk away, but Trina saw her, and she goes, Mom. So she goes, oh, I was going to just let you two talk because I know you need to, talk and communicate. And so she goes, we just ran into each other. And so she's like, well, well, it's good that you could talk. And she goes, do you think maybe sometimes, that you and I would be able to talk like that, talk again? And Trina's like, you know what? I got to go. I'm supposed to be meeting Spencer somewhere. So see you, Mom. She takes off. And then she's like, Curtis, can we talk, Curtis? We're still married, Curtis. No, actually, whether you like it or not, Curtis, we're still married. And Curtis could have been not. We're getting to know. We haven't even slept together as husband and wife. Annulled. And so he's like, Portia, I can't tell you. She goes, can't I love the love we have for each other? Can't we get through this? And he goes, I can't tell you that. So she goes, can we go to counseling? And he's like, and what am I supposed to tell a counselor? No, you don't know. No. And so she, Curtis is like, you know what? I can't. And he just turns and he walks away from her. And she's like, but can't, yeah, cry, Portia. Jordan warned you about a year, really. You didn't want to listen. You didn't care. Stay out your life. Stay out your business. Things is different between me and Curtis. Yada, yada, yada. There we go. So I don't feel sorry for Portia. It's going to take her family as long as it's going to take. Now, will they come around? Yes. Maybe not Curtis, because Curtis is like that. Maybe not. But whatever. TJ was pissed off at Jordan when he first found out. Sean, too. They came around, right? So we have Nina at the bar, and Jordan comes up. An unlikely conversation. I didn't know they ever talked to each other before. But Jordan does know Nina and Curtis are friends. And so she just asked Nina, how is Curtis doing? Because she hadn't seen him. And she goes, you haven't? She goes, I'm giving Curtis some space. And Curtis actually mentioned Aunt Stella. He said he had not been able to even talk to Aunt Stella yet. He's still so upset. And I'm thinking, I don't know why you can be so upset. Aunt Stella's the one that got you told the truth, enlightened, right? You mean Stella's still in town at the Metro Court? Stella's already booked back to England. Get out of here. She ain't there. We would have seen her talk to Trina. We would have seen her talk to Mara. Come on. Stella would have been at the hospital. She definitely would be at the nurse's ball. But anyway, so Jordan and Nina are talking, and Jordan said, yeah, she loved Curtis. But she said, it's different, Nina. I love Curtis, and I probably always will. But loving someone and being in love with someone is two different things. And so Nina's like, well, you know what? Just talk to Curtis. And so then she was saying, but you knew and you didn't tell Curtis that Trina could have been his daughter. She said, no, because I was told that it wasn't my place. That was not my business. And I only wanted to tell Curtis because I wanted Curtis back. And she goes, who told you that? She said, Portia. So she goes, So Nina said, no. I mean, do you want him back? And you know what? I can't remember. Portia said yes. I can't remember. Because she was saying how what she and Curtis had was it was special. And she didn't feel she would have that connection with anybody ever again. And so Nina's like, wow, right? So, Nina can have civil conversations when she wants to. And she definitely had a civil conversation with with Jordan. And it was interesting. You didn't get hate venom, Nina, after saying you kept Curtis away from his child and you've known about it for over a year. Well, no, she actually just found out this summer. She suspected it long ago, but she really just found out. I'm sorry. Didn't she find out? Actually, Jordan knew about Curtis and Trina before Carly knew about Harmony. Nina's so forgiving when she's hearing about other people knowing about other people's possible kids and not telling them. She's okay with that. She gives them a pass as long as it doesn't have anything to do with her, right? So anyway, she had Portia. Jordan has to answer a phone call, and Nina leaves. So after Curtis leaves Portia, he comes to Charlie's, and he's sitting there like, oh, like his life. And Jordan comes from the back area where she was taking her phone call, and he looks at her, and she looks at him. So let's see if he's going to either do one thing, they're going to talk as friends, or he's going to spew his venom, his anger onto Jordan. And then guess what? They mentioned Epiphany. They kind of been mentioning Epiphany quite often. I'm wondering, are they going to say she had some kind of accident and was killed? Because Maxie even mentioned Epiphany and some of the nurses, Epiphany and, oh my goodness, I can't think of his name. She mentioned three, I can't think of his name. Felix, Epiphany, Felix, and somebody can co-chair, part of the nurses' ball on behalf of the General Hospital staff. And I thought, wow, they mentioned her name. And then today, they said Epiphany was supposed to be writing a letter supporting Elizabeth, a recommendation for Elizabeth. And she goes, and they got the letter from Epiphany, right? And who was it? Portia says, they didn't mention they got a letter from Epiphany. And she, said all the names that they did get a letter from. And Liz is like, I wonder what happened. Why wouldn't Epiphany support me? And so she's going off a deep end. Well, that looks bad. She was like my mentor. And if my mentor can't support. And so Terry said, you don't know why Epiphany didn't get a chance to send the letter. She's touring John Hopkins School of Medicine, the facility or the university. And she could be trailing a physician right now. There could be a whole lot of things going on. She may not have even gotten the request for the letter, Elizabeth. So don't assume that Epiphany is not supporting you. And I thought, oh, okay, wow. So we'll see. I'm interested to see how they are going to handle the Epiphany situation. What are they going to do? Because they've got her in school. We'll see. So then we have Spencer and Laura. They went to Shady Brook, Spring Ridge, to visit Esme to tell her that, she's being released. They got her a room above Kelly's. But Spencer's like, because I know you want the best for my baby brother or my brother. And she's like, wait a minute. Because she was pissed that he was there for one. And so Laura's redirects from Spencer, but Spencer shouldn't say anything. He really shouldn't. And so then she goes, wait a minute. How big is this room? And he goes, well, that's it. I mean, it's not big enough for the baby. And so she goes, no, you guys are not going to separate me from my baby. And I thought, I know they didn't think that was going to fly. I'm going to get you out of jail. You fought to take your baby with you in jail. So you think when you get out of jail, you're just going to be separated from your baby. They didn't think that through at all. And so she goes, no, I'm staying here. She's like, because look, me and my baby getting the 3 square meals a day. And, no, she don't have to pay no bills. And so they said, no, we're here to support you and help you. So Laura said, you know what? Wait a minute. Let's step back. We went about this the wrong way. Now, we should have involved you in the planning. Let's start over. Esme, how can we help you? How can we support you and Ace? So she goes, well, there is a way, but you're not going to like it. And Laura's like, wait, what? Spencer's looking. So Trina stops by knocking, Laura's door. Spencer opens it. She goes, hey, I'm just seeing if your baby brother's all settled in. And he goes, well, there's been a change of plans. Things didn't go the way that according to what we planned. And Trina's now there in the living room. And then Esme's coming from the back area with Laura and Ace saying, we love our room, don't we, Ace? We love it. So Laura's looking at Trina like, Spencer didn't have a chance to tell you that. And Trina's looking like, wait, what? She's going to be staying here? But, bottom line, I don't think Trina is concerned about Spencer getting back with Esme. She just probably didn't think Esme would be, that Esme would be right there. See, and look, Spencer decided since Dex was at Sunny's, he was leaving up Sunny's. So he moved over to Laura's. So now we're going to have Spencer, Esme, the baby, and Charlotte. Laura and Kevin's place is huge. We just didn't know, y'all. They got a mini mansion over there. Have to be a mini mansion. So anyway, as it should though, as they should have had Esme and the baby there. I'm surprised the court didn't make her water the court, but since no charges were filed, she's released on her own. But she does know that the PCPD could pick up the charges later. But for now, you and your baby, you're free to raise your baby. So anyway, that was it for today's episode of General Hospital. Let's see how much of Comment Corner that I can get through, everybody. I'm going to do my best and see what I could do. Annette says a warm Southern, get well soon, pretty hat lady. Thank you so much, Annette. Enough of Josh, Willow, Brooklyn, Dex, Cody. How long will the talk of a wedding? I know, B. They're just talking about this elusive wedding. Gwendolyn says, so Portia was right. Jordan is still in love with Curtis, and she wants him. Yeah, you know what? Curtis is good. Good guy when he's not judging you. Kizzy says, Joss needs to stay off her back. And Cindy says, I don't buy Chase wanting to get back with Brooklyn after talking with Willow for a few minutes. If the writers wanted them together, they would have given them more in common and a realistic process. And they gave them neither. Cindy says, Michael seems more concerned with Sonny finding out about Dex and Josh than about Sonny finding out about Dex is involved with Michael and trying to take him down. Sonny would never forgive that. Anna Rihanna says, great recap. Take care. Excuse me. Take care and feel better. We are here for you. Thank you so much, Anna Rihanna. And Richard said, another great review. Daily recap, lady, get well soon. Hello there says, you think that Brooklyn, yes, Miss Mouthgate Brooklyn, would have a better piano equipment to work on. Seriously, this is supposed to be her life's work, and she's practicing on a dinky little 61 key keyboard that looks like it. Wait a minute, keyboard that looks like it was picked up at a secondhand store. She comes from a wealthy family and should have her own recording studio with professional equipment. Especially, I know she's supposed to be getting artists and managing folks. I know, right? If we are supposed to buy this story at all, remember back in the 90s when her mother Lois had her own studio with Brenda, LMB Records. Brooklyn is from that. Let's see, Brooklyn is from that. Where am I at? Oh, Brooklyn is far from that with her little rinky-dink toy keyboard, which makes no sense. Plus, how can she play with those nails? So ridiculous. And Cindy says, I noticed that too. The Quartermain should have a full-size upright piano, probably a Steinway, and a dedicated music room. I know, I'd be surprised that they don't. Hello there says to send this, absolutely. And what also gets me is Ned has never been seen suggesting that she get better equipment. Not that I care much for her, but it's the details that matter. And Michael says, okay, I'll keep this short. What's next for Dex now that Jocelyn knows Michael's his secret boss? Sonny should know about all since he's having Dex followed. Drew, just itching for a storyline. I guess he should be involved with bringing down Victor since he had been held since she held him hostage for 2 years. Great recap, and I hope you feel better. I'm feeling a little better. Not a whole ton of a lot, but I am feeling better. Anita says, daily recap lady, feel better. Thank you. And then Ruth says, okay, first of all, I agree, Michael doesn't have any right to tell Dex who he should and should not be with. Second, the same thing applies to Sonny telling Lena not to be with him. What's with the pushing people away? Routine, boring, and annoying, not to mention downright stupid. Alicia says, great daily recap. You do Brooklyn so well. That hung open mouth. If Sonny doesn't know about Dex and Joss, how is he equipped to go against Pikeman? I know. LT Main says, hope you feel better soon. I don't understand why they keep pushing Chase and Brooklyn together. Just let them move on. I know Lucy is always frantic about the nurses' ball, but sometimes I can't deal with her silliness. And Cheryl says, Maxie can't hold water. And Cheryl says, feel better soon. And then she also says, I never thought it may have been thought about the possibility of Nina making decisions for Willow. They have excluded her from everything. I'm Team Nina. The show grace to everyone but Nina. I want Willow and Nina's relationship to blossom. Charletta says to Sunflower, yeah, she should have a little say. But she'll never, wait. Yeah, she should have my little say, but so never like the child she never had any say so about Willow. Willow was on her own. And then Gwendolyn says, absolutely, I agree, Cheryl. And then we have Lucy says, your recap was fabulous, as are all your recaps. Thank you for all you do. Please get better soon. Thank you, daily recap lady. You said my name, Lucy. Well, you typed my name. And then Medora says, feel better soon. Take some time, as we'll always be here for you. Well, you know what? I'm barreling through these daily recaps because I'm actually flying out of town on Friday, which is another reason this could not have come at a better time. I have to go to Atlanta. So I'm going from California to Atlanta for a business meeting seminar. So I won't be able to do Friday's recap until probably Monday. But I am going to make sure I get tomorrow's recap out because I don't fly back to California until Sunday early evening. So we'll see what I could do. We'll see if I can squeeze it out. But anyway, everybody, thank you so much for your comments in Comment Corner. I will be back tomorrow for another daily recap of General Hospital.